Tuesday, January 17th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a Fairfield teacher arrested for allegedly exposing himself to a student. In Ridgefield, a drug rehab facility withdrawing its application after major pushback, and much more. Frank Granito will join us with a look at the forecast and a Nutmeg sports update, and later on, Donald Ang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, a Fairfield Ward High School teacher was arrested Monday for allegedly exposing himself to a student. 44-year-old Jeff Iwanicki was charged with 2 counts of risk of injury to a minor, public indecency, and breach of peace. Iwanicki, who turned himself in to police headquarters on Monday, allegedly exposed himself to a female student. According to Fairfield Ward High School faculty directory, Iwanicki is a technical education teacher at the school. Schools were closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Day, but an email from Fairfield school officials indicated that Iwanicki was not at the school or in contact with students at the time of his arrest. Their statement said in part, immediately after school officials learned of the allegations approximately 1 month ago, the employee was placed on administrative leave of absence pending that investigation. More on that story at fairfield-sun.com. And in some breaking news from the Ridgefield Press, there will be no second public hearing for the proposed drug rehabilitation facility on Old West Mountain Road. Citing neighborhood pushback on the plan. The applicant, Mountainside, has decided to withdraw both its applications. Artemis Partners, a New York-based venture capitalist firm that owns Mountainside, wrote in a letter sent to Planning and Zoning on Monday that they have treated over 158 individuals with a Ridgefield address since 2004. They went on to say that over the past few months, it's become clear to them that the residents in the immediate vicinity of 162 Old West Mountain Road are not in favor of their application. Despite strong support from several prominent Ridgefield residents, they say they are not seeking to create this level of disharmony in the community. The letter went on to say that while we know that this proposed project is misunderstood and misrepresented by the Ridgefield Neighborhood Preservation Alliance, we would rather not operate this program where the treatment of our clients could be in jeopardy due to the strong negative opinions of neighbors. Almost 200 residents attended the application's first and only public hearing back on January 3rd. There's a lot more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And in other news, 3 men, including 2 from Milford, were arrested early Monday morning and charged with stealing items from cars. According to police, at about 12:30 in the morning on January 16th, they responded to an anonymous report of men looking into vehicles on Wilson Street. Officers arrived and made contact with 23-year-old Carlton Tucker of Homeacres Avenue in Milford and 20-year-old Eric Martinez of 4th Street in Bridgeport. They were found in their vehicle with items they claimed were not theirs. At that point, Milford police had no actual complaint of a theft and did not find any vehicles which appeared to have been gone through. Those items in the vehicle, however, were seized and the men were sent on their way. However, a short time later, officers saw a vehicle parked on Wilson Street that appeared to have been gone through and made contact with the vehicle owner. It was then found that items seized from Tucker and Martinez had been taken from the victim's vehicle. Officers were notified to be on the lookout for the vehicle that Tucker Martinez had been in, and it was found later on Wolf Harbor Road near Route 15, and they were in it, along with 22-year-old Edward Pagini of 38 Twin Oaks Terrace in Milford. All 3 men were then linked to the theft and taken into custody. And Darien police have arrested a Norwalk man in connection with a bar fight at Chez Ernie's Cafe back on December 18th that led to serious injuries. Officers responded to a report of a fight in progress at about 1 in the morning and located one victim, a 51-year-old Darien man with severe facial injuries. A second victim, a 51-year-old Southbury man, had a minor injury. Witnesses reported that the suspects had struck the first victim with a glass and then in an ensuing skirmish struck the second victim with his fist. That suspect had been escorted from the establishment by employees and had left the scene prior to the arrival of police. On December 19th, that suspect was identified as 43-year-old Christopher Akler of Norwalk. On December 22nd, Akler met with detectives and offered his full cooperation. On January 11th, he turned himself into detectives after learning there was a warrant for his arrest. Akler was charged with 2 counts of assault, second and third degree, and breach of peace. That victim, who sustained serious injuries, continues to receive medical treatment. Mark Sherman, Ackler's Stanford criminal defense attorney, said in an email to the Darien Times that the allegations are completely out of line with Ackler's reputation in the community as a devoted father, successful business owner, and respected member of the community. There's a lot more on that story at DarienTimes.com. And the owner of the Kismet Spa in Hamden has been arrested for permitting prostitution on the premises. John Wei Zhang's arrest follows an undercover operation at 2375 Whitney Avenue. Zhang, who's 55 years old and from Randolph, Mass., was charged with prostitution and permitting prostitution. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that that spa is directly across the street from Hamden Town Hall. Hamden Police Captain Ronald Smith said in a release that members of the Hamden Police Department Street Interdiction Team, with assistance from the Ethics and Integrity Unit, concluded the investigation with the arrest of Zhang. The investigation began after police received information that prostitution had been occurring at that spa. And in other news, Trumbull police arrested 2 juveniles early Friday morning after receiving a report of a car being broken into on Michalski Road. According to police, that call came in at about 3:50 in the morning. The 2 suspects involved ran south toward Old Town Road before police arrived. Bridgeport Police and a Milford Canine unit assisted in the search for those suspects. The Milford police dog tracked the suspects toward Bridgeport, eventually locating the first near Wedgwood Drive and Lakeside Drive. That second suspect was located later in the same area. After an extensive track, both juveniles were charged with 3rd-degree burglary and 6th-degree larceny. And in New Canaan, the Roger Sherman Inn and Restaurant is still operating and is expected to be through February. After announcing in November that the inn and restaurant would close on January 1st, the owners and staff are now telling people that they'll be there through February. According to Andy Glazer, it's taking longer than expected. Glazer has a contract to buy the Roger Sherman Inn property to get through Planning and Zoning Commission application process. Co-owner Joseph Jaffrey told the Advertiser on January 16th that Glazer's application before P&Z calls for renovating the historic building that houses the restaurant and bar and converting it into a single-family home and building another 5 single-family home units on that 1.7-acre property. But there's a lot more on that story at ncadvertiser.com. Let's throw it back over to Frank Gordito now for a look at the forecast. Sorry, first time throwing it over to you.
Yes, the first time. We'll come back again. Showers have started around Fairfield County in the last half hour or so, and we can expect periods of on and off rain now to continue on through tonight and into Wednesday morning. Temperatures in the low 40s during the day, and that'll drop down into the mid-30s overnight. Low cloud cover and patches of fog throughout the county as well heading into Wednesday morning. Tuesday night's fog cover and those light showers will hang around early on Wednesday morning, but we should see those clear out by noon for what will be a cloudy afternoon with a high of 42. Partly cloudy overnight and a low of 37 as skies begin to clear up before Thursday. Mild and warm on Thursday with a high of 47 expected and partly sunny skies. An 8 to 10 mile per hour breeze throughout the day. Warmer overnight compared to earlier in the week with a low of 40 degrees before what should be a much warmer and sun-filled weekend around southwest Connecticut than we've seen so far this year. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank will have your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local headlines coming up after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Start Something New sales event, now through January 31st.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Are you ready for winter? Ski and Sport has everything you need to be fully outfitted for the season. A family-owned and operated business with over 40 years of experience, Ski and Sport's 3 convenient locations in Fairfield County offer top-quality, high-fashion ski and winter wear. In addition to clothing for men, women, and children, we also offer seasonal rentals for the entire family. Stop by our stores on 1 Ethan Allen Highway in Ridgefield, 877 Post Road East in Westport, and at 110 Main Street in New Canaan, or visit us at skiandsport.net.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We're back on this January 17th edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don, you're matching the blue theme. We got
I know, I like that.
thing
Yeah,
going
it was
on here.
good. Good planning. So.
All right, but tell us what happened on this day.
Well, do you know what a broken arrow is? A hint, it's not good. I'll tell you about it in a second. First, though, we go to 1524. Giovanni da Verrazzano set sail from Madeira to find a sea route to the Pacific Ocean. He was the first European to explore the mainland Atlantic coast between Florida and New Brunswick, including New York. Verrazzano, that's him there in his apparent hometown of Chianti. We're not exactly sure, because he kept detailed records of his voyage, but we know almost nothing about his personal life. Date, place of his birth, don't know. Family, don't know. Time and manner of his death, also unknown. Some accounts say he was beheaded and eaten by natives in the Caribbean. Others say he was hung for piracy in Spain. Mystery Man, Giovanni da Verrazzano. 1781, the Battle of Cowpens. Continental troops under Brigadier General Daniel Morgan decisively defeat the British in South Carolina. The Continentals took more than 700 prisoners, including Lord Cornwallis's best scout troops. Without them, he abandoned South Carolina and began marching north to Virginia in a campaign that would culminate in the Battle of Yorktown. To 1899 we go. The U.S. takes possession of Wake Island in the Pacific, a tiny atoll. You see it there. There's room for an airfield and just about nothing else. It was uninhabited, but thought of as being a good host for a coaling station for the growing U.S. Navy. As early as 1904, though, Wake Island, which is best known for the World War II Battle of Wake, was a scene of controversy between the U.S. and Japanese forces as early as 1904 because the Japanese were caught on Wake poaching seabird feathers for their hat-making industry. Finally, now we go to 1966 for this.
Palomares is a small Spanish fishing village in East Andalusia. On the 17th of January 1966, it became the focus of global attention when a B-52 bomber of the U.S. Air Force Strategic Air Command collided with a KC-135 tanker while refueling 9,500 meters above the Mediterranean Sea. The crash completely destroyed the tanker, killing all 4 crew on board. The B-52, meanwhile, disintegrated, though 4 of the crew did survive. Of much more concern to the world, though, was the B-52's cargo. It was carrying 4 hydrogen bombs.
Over Palomares, Spain, a B-52 bomber collides with a KC-135 tanker, dropping 4 70-kiloton hydrogen bombs. 3 of them were recovered immediately from the land. 1 of them fell into the ocean. Fisherman Simo Orts saw the bomb fall into the ocean, and under maritime law, guiding a salvage force to the location of a wreck entitled him to a salvage fee of 2% of the bomb's $2 billion value. The Air Force settled with him for an undisclosed fee. An accident or loss of a nuclear device is referred to as a broken arrow incident. To date, there have been 32 of them. Think about that for a second. As we look back in history, for today, January 17th, and I'm Donald Ng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, getting back to local news, Monroe police arrested a New Haven man in connection with the burglary of a Wells Road home that happened back on April 19, 2012. At the time, the homeowner reported that someone broke into their home and stole over $93,000 worth of jewelry. The Monroe Detective Division looked into some new information in 2012 that caused them to issue an arrest warrant for 39-year-old David Sullivan. Police arrested him on January 13th and charged him with larceny and burglary. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. The HAN Network was live last night at the Darien Ice House for Rivalry Night, featuring the new Canaan Rams and Darien Blue Wave as the Battle of Exit 37 took to the ice for the first time this season. In the first of two regular season meetings, New Canaan got off to a hot start, looking to carry momentum from their comeback against Greenwich in last week's game. Unfortunately, that would not last long for the Rams. Darien left no doubt in this one on either side of the ice, limiting the Rams to 10 shots on goal and piling up 6 goals themselves. 3 goals in the second period, 3 in the third. Shea Vanderbrook led all scorers with 3 points. Cassidy Schiff added 2 assists, and senior goaltender Emily Giannunzio picked up her 3rd shutout of the season in the Waves' 4th straight win. Let's take a look at the highlights right now. Good evening and welcome to the Darien Ice House. Happy Martin Luther King Day as we get set for some girls ice hockey with the latest installment of the New Canaan Darien rivalry. So the Rams losing another draw in their own zone. Pass out in front. Quick shot, it bounces around, they score! Elise Morrow, the junior. Lowe lets a shot go that got knocked down in front. Turnaround effort and they score! It hit Shea Vandenbroek in the slot. She had the turnaround shot that Fahey never saw. And with 1:57 remaining, it is 2-0 in favor of the Wave. Get a shot on goal as the wraparound attempt stuffed by Fahey. Puck is loose. Rebound, score! Vandenbroek again. Took her all but 22 seconds. Hockey player starting at goalie for this year that they would have to worry about picking up goals. I think it's an issue they'd be okay with as another one for the Wave, who make it 5-0 with 5:45 remaining. Mettler just couldn't quite cut it off. Another opportunity. Darien coming in. Shot towards the far side of the cage. Score! Caitlin Chan gets that one to go. 5 seconds in the corner. A couple players lose an edge and go down. Now it's Chan working out from the front of the net. The save is made, and that will do it. Not the way the Rams drew it up. 6 for Darien, nothing for New Canaan. Darien moves into a tie for second place in the FCIAC with the win, picking up their 7th and 8th points in the unconference season. Now 6-3 overall. They will play at SWS on Saturday this weekend. New Canaan remains in 4th place with 5 points, falling to 2-3-1 on the year. The Rams go on the road to play against Ridgefield Saturday night in a rematch of an FCX semifinal from last postseason. In other girls hockey action yesterday, NWM defeated Trumbull by a final score of 9-5. Shara McAvini and Caitlin Hocker each netted a hat trick. Megan Lance scored twice, and Alyssa Lachek rounded out the scoring for NWM. Trumbull's Erin Owens also registered a hat trick yesterday. Mackenzie Meany added 2 goals as the Eagles' offense just couldn't quite keep up in this barn burner. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Tune in at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have full recap of last night's games as well as the other games that were in action around the conference. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, getting back to local news, Doug Schwartz, the Quinnipiac University poll director, told the wise men of Westport and Weston on Thursday, January 5th, that though few expected the presidential election's outcome, the polls were not as bad as commonly assumed. The quality polls, those done by major television networks, by Pew Research and Quinnipiac, projected a 4-point popular vote victory by Hillary Clinton. She won by 2. According to Schwartz, what did they miss? He said it was late deciders in the swing states, about 10% of voters, that fell overwhelmingly for Trump. He said had they voted more like the final outcome again, Clinton would be president-elect. Asked during the question and answer session whether Quinnipiac missed a certain kind of voter, Schwartz said that the white working class, a key to Trump's victory, was not undersampled. Schwartz called it a social desirability bias as well, saying that some people did not want to admit they were voting for Trump, even though they had already made up their minds. Additionally, Hispanic voters went overwhelmingly for Clinton, but went for Trump more than they had for Romney. Similarly, African American voters were correctly sampled, but fewer voted than in the 2 previous elections. There's a lot more on that story at thewestonforum.com. And the Center for Sexual Assault Crisis Counseling and Education will be presenting a new awareness campaign, Reveal to Heal, on Wednesday, January 24th at 8 in the morning at the center at 733 Summer Street in Stamford. Created in conjunction with photographer Valeska Martin and local artists, the photographic campaign is designed to raise community awareness of the harm inflicted by sexual violence, while also raising the profile of the center and the services they provide to survivors of assault and abuse. A series of photographs will feature people with messages written on their bodies. Reveal to Heal calls attention to the battles that survivors often face in getting people to believe them, and the many discouraging messages they receive when they do disclose that assault or abuse. And in other news, early Sunday morning, a group of Milford residents, some city officials, and members of a local Audubon society drove to Gulf Beach to replace an Osprey platform. The Osprey platform behind the old Shadyside pump station was well over 20 years old, falling and in need of replacement, according to Mark Payne Jr., who lives near the pond and has a good view of that platform. Carol Dunn, a local birder, member of the Inland Wetlands Agency, and an Osprey monitor, noticed too. She said that platform was leaning and was in danger of falling over. Word went out and neighbors volunteered to help, and you can get a lot more on that story at milfordmirror.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com. It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield.
Why cook it all this holiday? Avoid the stress of holiday planning and let your friends at Walter Stewart's in New Canaan do the heavy lifting. Whether you're looking to fill in with a few crowd-pleasing sides or you want us to prepare your whole feast, from cranberry sauce to pumpkin pie, we're ready to simplify your holiday. Place your order from our holiday menu and spend your holiday the right way, relaxing. Our fresh prepared holiday meals to go are designed with your busy schedule in mind. Visit us at stewartsmarket.com or at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at stonesthrowct.com.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ng for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Are you looking for new opportunity this year? How does growing a business with unlimited income potential sound? Christy Kinsman is a local entrepreneur building a global health and wellness business in Fairfield County. Offering cutting-edge anti-aging skincare, all botanically based and paraben-free, and a complete vegan, clean-eating nutritional plan, Christy's looking for business partners that can help get others healthier while taking advantage of an untapped market. Take that first step to freedom from the 9-to-5 grind by learning more about the products and our mentorship program. Contact Christy at thelittlehouseshop@yahoo.com. We are back on this Tuesday edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today, including that a Fairfield Ward High School teacher was arrested Monday for allegedly exposing himself to a student. 44-year-old Jeff Iwanicki was charged with 2 counts of risk of injury to a minor and impairing the morals of a minor, as well as public indecency and breach of peace. Iwanicki, who turned himself into police headquarters on Monday, allegedly exposed himself to a female student. According to the Fairfield Ward High School faculty directory, Iwanicki is a technical education teacher at the school. Schools were closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. An email from Fairfield school officials indicated that Iwanicki was not at school or in contact with students at the time of his arrest. They said in part immediately after school officials learned of the allegations approximately 1 month ago, the employee was placed on administrative leave of absence pending an investigation. More on that story at fairfield-sun.com. And in some breaking news this morning from the Ridgefield Press, there will be no second public hearing for the proposed drug rehabilitation facility on Old West Mountain Road. The applicant, Mountainside, has decided to withdraw both its applications. Artemis Partners, a New York-based venture capitalist firm that owns Mountainside, wrote in a letter sent to Ridgefield Planning and Zoning Commission on Monday that they have treated over 158 individuals with a Ridgefield address since 2004. They said over the past few months it's become clear to them that the residents in the immediate vicinity of 162 Old West Mountain Road are not in favor of their application. Despite strong support, they say, from several prominent Ridgefield residents, they're not seeking to create a level of disharmony in the community. The letter went on to say that while we know that this proposed project is misunderstood and misrepresented by the Ridgefield Neighborhood Preservation Alliance, we would rather not operate this program where the treatment of our clients could be in jeopardy due to strong negative opinions of neighbors. Almost 200 residents attended the application's first and only public hearing back on January 3rd. There's more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And in other news, Darien police have arrested a Norwalk man in connection with a bar fight at Chez Ernie's back on December 18th that led to serious injuries. Officers responded to a report of a fight at about 1 in the morning and located a victim, a 51-year-old Darien man with severe facial injuries. A second victim, a 51-year-old Southbury man, had a minor injury. Witnesses report that the suspect had struck that first victim with a glass and then in an ensuing skirmish struck the second victim with his fist. The suspect had been escorted from the establishment by employees and had left the scene before police arrived. On December 19th, that suspect was identified as 43-year-old Christopher Akler of Norwalk. On December 22nd, Akler met with detectives, fully cooperating. On January 11th, he turned himself in to detectives after learning there was a warrant for his arrest. He was charged with 2 counts of assault, second and third degree, and breach of peace. That victim, who sustained serious injuries, continues to receive medical treatment. Mark Sherman, Akler's attorney, said in an email to the Darien Times that the allegations are completely out of line with Akler's reputation in the community as a devoted father, successful business owner, and respected member of the community. Let's switch gears now and throw it over to Frank Granito for one final look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Again, showers have started around Fairfield County now, and we can expect periods of on and off rain to last through tonight into Wednesday morning. Temperatures in the low 40s during the day, dropping to the mid-30s overnight. Some low cloud cover and patches of fog overnight throughout the county as well. That fog and those light showers will hang around early on Wednesday, but we should see that clear up by noon for what will be a cloudy afternoon with a high of 42 degrees. Cloudy again overnight and a low of 37, but skies should start to clear up before Thursday. And then mild and warm Thursday with a high of 47 expected. Partly sunny skies, a light breeze in the afternoon throughout the day. Warmer overnight compared to earlier on as we head towards a sun-filled weekend with warmer temperatures compared to the snowy-filled Saturdays we've had to start the year. That's going to do it for the weather. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to wrap things up here in your coffee break, but still a busy day on the HAN network. The Drive with Denise is live at 12:30 with Scarlett Lewis, the founder of the Jesse Lewis Choose Love movement. 2 o'clock, of course, Nutmeg Sports with Frank. And Frank, we got live basketball action tonight.
Girls hoops tonight, 7 o'clock, Fairfield Ludlow at Trumbull. See you there.
Awesome. All right. And we'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.